Why stop there? Partying twice, let's make it 3 times. You beat Skubal again 3 times in what? Couple of weeks, Daryl?
Go 3 for 3.
Why stop at 3?
The last 3 weeks.
Let's party 4 times. Let's party 5 times. The beauty of baseball postseason. Cleveland, we welcome you to the 2025 MLB playoffs, the wild card round. And we are not too far away. We've got, 7 hours to go before first pitch. One of the best, if not the best pitcher in baseball going up against Gavin Williams today. And more importantly, the bunting will be back. The playoff atmosphere will be back. I know they still have some tickets remaining, but you better pounce now if you want to get down there and share in this experience because, Daryl, I'm sure you agree. I know Owen agrees. Mitch wouldn't know. There's nothing better than playoff baseball in Cleveland.
It is the absolute best. I can't wait to get to the ballpark this morning after the show. Going to head right on over, taking the game. We'll have some coverage on YouTube for you after the game. But, I mean, how can you not be pumped? Out of nowhere, the Guardians chased down the Tigers 15.5 games back. They rallied to win the division. They are the division champions for the 13th time since 1995. The Tigers are the wild card team. They have beaten Skubal twice in the last 2 weeks. Trying to, like I said, go 3 for 3. Gavin Williams going to be on the bump for the good guys. Gavin has pitched well against the Tigers of late. Won his last 2 outings, 23 strikeouts combined in those outings. So, if you can't, here's my thing. If you can't get excited for today, and I know that we talked about it yesterday, there's this like sliver of Guardian fan out there. It's like, well, they're not going to win the World Series, so I can't get excited. Then you're missing the point. You're absolutely missing the point. This is arguably, I think March is pretty close with March Madness, but this is the best time of year. Your team playing in late September, early and into October, with your season on the line, doesn't get any better than this. That ballpark is going to be electric today.
It's going to be rocking.
It always is. Fans are going to be up out of their seats with every pitch. They're going to be clapping. This is where I miss John Adams banging the drum.
Do we have an update? I know Curtis is coming in about 40 minutes. Do we have an update? Because, they've in the postseason, in the absence, RIP of John Adams, they've had the guest drummer, right?
Celebrity drummer.
The celebrity drummer would be a nice touch. Look, Daryl, this is a city that knows how to act. This isn't something new for us. I think it's part of what has driven that vocal minority to be louder and louder as you get spoiled by the success. And, going to the playoffs is not something that you should ever, really in any sport, take for granted. I know, like in the NBA, it felt like for years everybody makes the playoffs, whatever. But I don't care what sport it is. You make the playoffs, you have a chance to do something special. You have a chance. And especially in baseball. We had Anthony Castrovince on yesterday. And we were like, oh, well, you got the teams up here with these payrolls, and we know you got to hit the ball out of the park come playoff time. But as Anthony stressed, nobody knows. You can have all the talent on one end. You can have all the money on the other. Hell, you got teams like Texas and the Mets with all their payrolls, and they are watching the Guardians today.
Yeah, they're sitting home.
They get to sit at home. Mets fans get to sit at home today. And what Francisco Lindor gets to sit at home today and watch your team, Jose Ramirez, Kwan, Gavin Williams, they get to watch your team play playoff baseball. Never take it for granted. Never take it for granted. Because you're still playing. Your season is still on.
The fact that you bring up Francisco Lindor having to watch the Guardians on TV today, that's actually really delicious to me.
Come on.
That really is. I mean, I'm not saying I hold a grudge, but I might hold a grudge when you just, want to go chase the bag and you don't want to, do what Jose... And here's the thing. That's why Jose is so beloved here, aside from the fact that he is a future Hall of Famer. And he is arguably the best player or one of the best players in franchise history. But he took over $100 million less in market value to stay here. Because, and you heard it in the open that Owen put together.
It's beautiful. Nice job, Owen. It's great to hear.
Cleveland is my home. Cleveland
Where do you ever hear that?
No, you don't. And especially with guys like Jose. And I always bemoan the fact that I don't think Jose Ramirez gets the love and respect nationally that he gets within Major League Baseball. He's widely respected, of course. But I'm talking like nationally. I mean, you're seeing Donovan Mitchell start to pop up in some of the NBA promos and ads and TV stuff. Like, you don't see a lot of Jose Ramirez in the Major League Baseball promos and ads. And you know what? You should. Mm-hmm. You should see Jose. He's what's right about the game. He does it the right way. He plays the game the right way. He's a tremendous player. Does a lot of great stuff in the community. Okay? And Major League Baseball does what Major League Baseball does, and that's stub their toe when it comes to promoting their stars. But, you know, having a team like the Guardians with a player like Jose, that is great for the game. This just in, there are more markets than just New York, Boston, Los Angeles, and Chicago. And the sooner that Major League Baseball embraces that, I think the better the sport is going to be. But I can't wait to get to the ballpark this morning.
There's going to be a hustle and a bustle, a buzz in downtown Cleveland. It's always awesome to see the weather. Absolutely beautiful, right? A little chilly this morning, but it is going to be perfect baseball weather, right? We're in good shape. Oh, look at this. The sun, 75 degrees.
1 o'clock game, you're getting sun washed until like third base line, they'll start to get that shade around.
Will it play a role?
Yeah.
That's right. I love breaking down playoff baseball. We get to talk about where the sun is and how it's going to affect the game.
Got to get to Skubal by the fifth inning because once those shadows start creeping in from the toothbrush light poles, going to make it hard for hitters late in the game.
Folks, if you're just listening from out of market, we in Cleveland understand playoff baseball. I want to get a check on everybody, how they're feeling right now. 216-474-0092. Maybe some people.
You want a vibe check this morning?
Well, that's an afternoon show thing. Sure, we'll do a vibe check in honor of Nick Wilson and Jonathan Peterlin. By the way, Peterlin, congratulations. The second baby came in. So look, we're all going to be paying attention today. I know some people are not happy about the time of the game. And it's like, look, it's Detroit, it's Cleveland. You know, you aren't in a major market. I got to say, for me and for this show, it's a pretty good time. It's a pretty good time. It sucks if you have to work.
I love the 108 start.
So this show's probably not going to be
the 8:08 start and the game ending at midnight.
I know. It does suck. You know, most normal people will have to be working today. And so it's going to be the same thing tomorrow. And then what, Thursday, do we know?
To be determined. Yeah. Just because you don't know how many game threes are going to happen. If there's a lot of game threes, then it'll be a 108. If there's not a lot, there's a chance it's a 308. If it's the only game three, maybe it goes to prime. So to be determined for game three. But, today and tomorrow, 108 first pitches.
Well, we've got cameras in the studio now, and you can check us out on YouTube. 92.3 The Fan. Because of the cameras, Owen can't smuggle in his beatboxes. So
that's why I stay off camera.
I know. It feels like if it were a proper...
It's an 11% morning, Anthony. I'm ready to go.
If it were a proper pregame show like the old days for the Browns, I might be having some fun early. But because of the cameras, we can't do anything. Just a gut feeling right now around the room because you are underdogs. And it makes sense. You should be underdogs. I know they collapsed and you seized the moment. You made history. Skubal, you beat him twice.
You should be. I got to correct you.
Okay.
You should be underdogs today, but I don't think you should be underdogs for the series. You give Skubal his respect, okay? 2-time Cy Young Award winner happening here, but the Guardians did chase down the Tigers to win the division. So I do feel like maybe the Guardians should be the favorites in the series, but they should be underdogs today because of Skubal.
So isn't it just because it's such a short series?
Yeah.
It's best of 3, and winning this game, what are the odds? What are the numbers, Mitch? Get the crack staff on it of losing game 1 of this newfangled wild card and being able to still win the series. Obviously, it's obviously going to be very difficult. Do you know what is the formula to beat?
In the in 5-game series, we've seen down 2-1 win the final 2 games in the series to take it. In fact, unfortunately, here in Cleveland, we've had a few instances where the then Indians were up 2-1 in a series and ended up not advancing. We've also seen the shoe on the other foot. 97, they were down 2-1 to the Yankees, won the final 2 games in the series to advance.
So you're saying don't put everything on today?
Yeah,
saying you could still go out there, have a professional approach, but
let's not
Skubal could get the best of you, and you still don't count them out. They could win the series.
Yeah, if they aren't able to get it done today against Skubal, let's not be having a funeral tomorrow morning.
And yet I feel like that will be the feeling. That's why I know it's tough. It's tough. You don't want to put too much pressure. And I guess that brings me to the other question I had this morning. Where's the pressure? Where's the pressure today?
I think it's on Detroit.
Do you think it's on the Tigers?
It's 100% on Detroit. They've got their Cy Young winner on the bump, okay? If you don't win this game with your Cy Young winner after choking away the division, you're cooked. You're done. All the pressure, at least from my standpoint, I think all the pressure's on the Tigers today. 100% on Detroit.
Let me throw a wrench in all of that real quick. There's only been 12 of these series. It's only been for 3 years. It's the 4th season. 10 of the 12 series have ended in 2-game sweeps. The other 2 series that went to 3 games, the winner of game 1 also won game 3.
So you cannot lose, according to history. Short history.
Lose. History also says you cannot come back from 15.5 down. And they did it.
And they did it.
There is a first for everything.
It's the reason that in July I was on the bandwagon. Look at the schedule, right? Look at the team that's in front of you. If there's a team that you have owned more in the last month, it's the Detroit Tigers. So why not? Why not be able to do it? All 3 of them are at your home.
And
ballpark.
so you got to be thinking that's in their heads.
Yes.
And boy, Owen, you brought it up yesterday. And I think this is something that's impossible. And we'll have some sound because they opened up the clubhouses yesterday. We'll have sound coming up next segment from both sides. But this is the scene of what was a huge incident, accident, whatever it is, last week, the David Fry situation. And that is the last time Skubal pitched.
And take away the Fry situation, right? You still have one of the most embarrassing plays in Major League Baseball last season. Or this season, sorry, when he hiked the ball through his legs. And then he gave up the lead off of infield singles. They gave up 3 runs off of infield singles, right? Like, it's not just that you can take the Fry thing out of it. They were in his head. They've been in his head the last 2 starts. See if he clears it out. It's playoff time, right? He also, the last playoff start he had was
we remember that
2.
one. Yeah,
it was game 5, and they went out and won that game as well. So they've had a good history against a guy who's been one of the best in the majors.
Kevin in Cleveland, how you feeling today? It's playoff baseball, and we are back.
I feel like we own the Tigers. We are in their heads. You guys have just finished saying it. We have beaten Tarik Skubal when it matters, and today it matters to him because he's got to prove that he's still that Cy Young winner, because the last 2 performances by him, it doesn't really look like he is. So we got to go out there. We got to win those first 2. We got to get in our groove, keep our guys healthy, and go make a fun push, because realistically, we won't see the Yankees until the ALCS. So we got to go play some teams, play some baseball, and win the whole thing.
Kevin, where are you watching today? You getting out of work?
No, I got to listen on my headphones. I'm building the zoo today, so I got to listen on my headphones. But I will be supporting all week.
Kevin, before you leave, powering them top 3 animals.
Yeah, what are they?
Top 3 animals.
Tigers can't be one of them.
No, tigers are one of them. I think top 3 animals right now. I've got orangutans up there at 1, the most interactive. We've got the wolves for sure, and man, no tigers, huh? We're gonna have to go the bears, sloth bears.
All right, thank you, Kevin. Thank you. We'll mix in some summer hack zoo topic.
Well, we got to get it in.
We'll mix it in.
He was really crestfallen he couldn't include tigers, though.
You better be careful watching that baseball game around the orangutans. Because what can seem like lighthearted, playful fun, all of a sudden you can have a face transplant at the Cleveland Clinic.
I saw that movie with Matt LeBlanc and a monkey. I know how this goes.
Just be careful. That's all I'm saying. All right. I want to hear from Guardians fans. Are you making your way down? Are you filling up the park today? How are you watching? Are you allowing your kids to take off school? Problem is, it's all week. It's another game tomorrow, and hopefully the series is over and we're moving on after that. But not so easy. I mean, that's a lot of work you got to make up. And it's going to be put to the test. I wonder how many kids we will see there. By the way, clean baseball. It was definitely not clean baseball the last time Skubal butchered that inning with not one ball. Nary one ball hit out of the infield, and him snapping the ball through his legs. I think Detroit would say that was clean baseball. Just very uncharacteristic, and
I think he was referring to bench clearing brawls.
Well, that is it. No more Mr. Nice Guys. Is that all in the past now? Because, the pressure was on. Guardians needed all those games. They won all those games. Detroit was in the middle of a total calamitous.
They went 7-17 in September. Their big-time social media fans were screaming their heads off.
It was a free fall. And so I wonder if that all the veneer of, hey, we're all nice guys. We shake hands. We offer each other rides. That thing goes out the window starting today. Meanwhile, here's Skubal yesterday on the challenge pitching in Cleveland.
I enjoy pitching here. I mean, the environment's great. You talk about postseason baseball and the noise and kind of the chaos and the rowdiness. I think this place kind of embodies all of that. So I enjoy playing here.
And I do think it'll have, obviously, that playoff feel today. Here's Skubal also reflecting on what went down with the pitch to Fry.
Stuff like that is scary, and that's real life stuff. People don't think of our sport as a physical sport as you might think like the NFL, but stuff like that can happen. It can be life-changing. Luckily, I think it's all been pretty positive for him. The only negative is, he can't play right now, and that's something that, I feel bad about. I obviously want, him playing.
And finally, vote on why he offered Skubal a ride.
He was asking how he could get over to see him, and I was just about to leave and walk out to my car. So it did what any other human being would do, and that's offer someone a ride where they need to go.
It is a weird scenario all the way around. And now Skubal has to go back out there with his team's season on the line. And look, they're not able. I'm sure they're not just dismissing, what it feels like in Detroit right now. It might be, maybe they're probably feeling, hey, it might be better to get the hell out of Detroit, where it's all negative vibes right now. But I do wonder, he's got to go out there and pitch again. And that crowd, hey, it was awesome that you showed such respect to the game and to David Fry. They're going to be all over him today, as well they should. It's playoff baseball. It's time to act like it. The nice guy stuff is out the window. I'm fired up because I think it's going to be tough for him. I think that pressure and that crowd is going to be all over him.
I can't wait. I think Progressive Field is one of the more underrated venues in Major League Baseball when it comes to game atmosphere, when it comes to playoff atmosphere. They talk about Fenway Park and Yankee Stadium and Dodger Stadium and Wrigley Field. I think Progressive Field is one of the all-time great playoff atmospheres in Major League Baseball. I really do. I just the fans, the game operations, to get the fans into it. It's electric. That's the only way I can describe it. It's electric in that ballpark in October. Well, I know we're still in September here, but you know what I'm saying. When it comes to playoffs, it's just the atmosphere, in my view, is really unmatched.
Well, so the next question is, last time out, I called it the bunting brigade, which is you would send everybody up in that sixth inning, and they were bunting. They were squaring up, doing whatever they could, right?
Yeah, I mean, look,
manufacturing runs by any means necessary.
Let's be real. It's not like they slapped Skubal around.
No, they haven't hit him that hard.
These last two games that they beat him in, but they beat him. They found a way to beat him, and I am confident that they're going to find a way today to beat him. I don't think they're going to be taking him out of the ballpark with regularity and things like that.
This is, folks, Darryl Ryder is optimistic about going up against one of the best pitchers in baseball today. That's what the Guardians
have done to me.
The profound impact they have had, especially with this run.
Owen is downing beatboxes. Me, I'm optimistic. What else can you ask
So
for?
only one of us has changed our habits.
So obviously the last time they went up against Skubal, the lineup, David Fry was a designated hitter.
Right.
So he's not going to be available today. What are you doing? What's the approach if you're the Guardians today? Do they think they can get lucky like that again? Do they think, because there was some luck involved
They're going to have to
last time around.
They're going to have to play smart, clean baseball. They're going to have to get a little aggressive on the base pass to create some opportunities. They're going to have to do the get them on, get them over, get them in thing, which is perfectly fine. I think that has to be the approach, because if you're sitting around waiting for the 3-run homer, I think you're going to be sitting around waiting a long time for the 3-run homer. That just isn't going to happen against Skubal. So get them on, get them over, get them in. Be smart on the base pass, be aggressive, If you're seeing the third baseman play back, and you've got a 200 hitter up there, lay a bunt down the third base line there and force the Tigers to throw you out.
Is anybody expecting any surprises in the order? Any surprises? Because you're trying to play hot hands at this time of year,
right?
And look, the lineup and so many of your players. I mean, we talked about this yesterday. You got guys that were in Columbus, at the halfway point of the season. So
CJ Kafis is one of them.
Well, that's another one.
Chase Delauder could be.
What was the deal with that yesterday? In position to be on the roster,
giving themselves options. Stephen Vogt was asked why a couple of these kids were. He said, "Hey, we're just giving ourselves options while finalizing this roster for the series." And smart approach. Have them here ready to go in case you want to go with them and make them eligible to be used in this series. The Guardians are a very smart organization, and I don't think that they get a lot of credit for that as well.
They do for me. People are probably sick and tired of me talking about
Anthony Dolan.
Yeah, I give them praise around every turn, and it bothers that vocal minority. At least, my God, I hope they're a minority. A day like today, they better be a minority.
Yeah,
because this is an organization that even when they when they made the Naylor move, on paper I was like, what? But I'm like, the Guardians. I always give that team the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, and your rotation for the series, obviously Gavin Williams today. Tanner Bybee, Slade Ciccone going to get starts for Cleveland in the series. I really love their chances, and even if they don't, I know what Owen said. I know your numbers, Owen, and it's never happened. But there's a first for everything. Even if the Guardians can't beat Skubal today, I think they win the next 2 games in the series.
It's not like I'm giving you numbers since 1906. It's 3 seasons, right?
It's what'd you say? 16 series or 12?
12 seasons.
12 series.
We are going into our 4th season of this format
this
of the playoffs.
This new iteration of expanded wild card
it's
madness.
Better than having to play Tampa one time like we did with Danny Salazar as a rookie on the mound. You know? We've got Gavin Williams, who has shown to be, but the thing we've talked about all season with the pitchers is like, do we have an ace? Who's the true ace? Is it Tanner Bybee? He's kind of the guy that you depended on to eat the most innings as a starter. But Gavin Williams has come on. He had the near no-hitter a couple months ago, and since then has really looked sharp. Didn't fall off after that, and it wasn't a one-hit aberration type thing. It's going to be a good series, It's 2 games, potentially 3 games. They've got to come out and handle their business, and it's playoff baseball too. So we're out of the starters going to the 7th or 8th. Starters go to the 5th or 6th inning now.
Yeah. Well,
and then you move on to bullpen,
especially in a series like this.
The leash should be very, very short.
But that's also part of it. Gavin Williams last time out, he went and struck 12 guys out, and he went at 6 innings, only gave up 4 hits. Like, you're feeling better and better about these guys, especially high leverage situations, whatever. But you also have a bullpen behind you that you feel comfortable with. So I do think the great thing about this series, because you can't worry about the ALDS or anything like that and what could go down on the weekend. Like, it's all systems go. But that is where I think a lot of the confidence comes from, especially against their lineup. I know they got 3 guys with pop, and that, for 3/4 of the year, they had been a potent offense, but it doesn't feel that way right now, especially against our pitching.
Well, there was a point in time where everyone was just going ahead and sharpieing the Tigers into the World Series. There was a point in time where they were the quote-unquote team to beat in the American League, and then the wheels came off the wagon. And they are no longer the team to beat. They're the team to beat.
No, yeah, they're not the big bad Tigers at all. I mean, it felt that way through much of the season. Now, that cloak of invincibility,
right,
that is
gone.
Long gone from them. And the fact that, Skubal, if it were any other time, I'd be like, well, how are we going to piece together how are we going to play at anybody?
Well, the reason
against him, and I don't feel that way right now.
The reason I'm so confident is because I think that the Guardians, with the intelligent way they play the game against him, they took the cloak of invincibility away from Skubal these last 2 outings. And again, they didn't pound him, but they did just enough. They played smart baseball against him. They forced he and the Tigers to make uncharacteristic errors and force the action a little bit, and it paid off for them.
Well, that's
what they're going to have to do today.
Yeah, this is why you're feeling so good about this team. They didn't back their way in to the postseason. It's not just a collapse. You had them 6 games. You had their ace.
You took it
twice.
From them.
And you did. The
Tigers are the ones that backed their way into the postseason.
They really did. To the point where we were wondering, did they even celebrate? We're partying twice, as Vogt said. Why not? We got to do it a couple of times. Detroit, very, very muted celebration. As well it should be.
Right.
In a situation like theirs. All right, when we come back.
Yay, we get to play more baseball and lose more games. Hey, have some champagne and beer.